For the people who are celebrating folks losing their SNAP benefits, y'all are weird. There's so many people out here talking about, oh, now you gotta work for it, accountability. Y'all do realize that most SNAP recipients work, right? They just don't make enough money to cover rent, bills, and food. It's literally helping to keep working families afloat. Someone even posted, let them eat cake. As in the people who won't receive their benefits. You know that quote that was supposedly made by Marie Antoinette? Well, you do remember what happened after she supposedly said that, right? She was beheaded, and the French Revolution ensued. So let me give you some statistics. 41.7 million people receive SNAP benefits in the United States. That's about 12% of the population. You mean to tell me all those people are lazy and mooching off the system? And even though that number seems large, it accounts for less than 2% of federal spending. Oh, and here's a fun fact. For every dollar that is funded to people through SNAP, it helps push in $1.50 to $1.80 into the local economy. So it's more like a stimulus than welfare. And that's not just helping SNAP recipients. If someone is more concerned about poor people receiving help to eat than they are about billionaires receiving unfair tax cuts, the problem isn't economics.
Can I get the manager on the line? Let me do my impression of MAGA. You gonna lose your SNAP. You gonna lose your benefits. You won't eat for Thanksgiving. You need to get a job. MAGA now. I'm sorry. I mean, what do you mean? Get your manager on the phone. I will have my SNAP. I need to feed my children. You know Billy doesn't work. Get the manager on the phone. What's the manager's number? Because I know those are the ones who should be losing. Who should be losing their SNAP, not me. I'm white. I don't deserve this cruelty of blackness. This is like slavery. I am not laughing at the babies that won't be able to eat. Once they see little John there crying because he's hungry, they will realize that being human and treating people like humans is a good thing.
Why are you voting to cut Medicaid? Why are you voting on Medicaid cuts? Can you tell us why? Medicaid saves lives. This baby is on Medicaid. This baby's life is saved because of Medicaid, and you are voting to reduce Medicaid. Look, you can run away from us now, but you can't run away from a bad vote. The people will remember.
First off, Medicaid is AID, so there's that. Number two, stop falling for stupid shit. They already proved that the people on Medicaid that are going to lose Medicaid are not committing fraud. My 70-year-old grandmother is not committing fraud. The disabled veteran is not committing fraud. The 8-year-old that needs Medicaid because his mom doesn't make enough money working 3 jobs is not committing fraud.
Hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Now, it is funny that life circles back. Not long ago, some MAGA voters were celebrating, laughing online, clapping in comment section with some emojis, when news spread that Black Americans were losing access to food assistance, housing programs, and the social benefits. You know, they said so many things. They said things like, stop being lazy, work hard, but finally, they are cleaning the system. The same people who celebrated are now crying. The same system that they empowered has now turned against them. Now, I want us to watch some clips here, then we come back and have a talk as far as this topic is concerned. And of course, if you are following us, you are watching our videos, you like our choices of topics of discussion, please subscribe. Subscribe so that you be part and parcel of this channel. Let's dive straight, watch this clip, then come back and have a talk.
Good morning, happy Monday. Some exciting news on this very dreary and gloomy Monday morning. So on a poll taken, and statistics show that on this Monday morning, even though all these Trumpies are all for this big disastrous bill, and they have no problem with SNAP, EBT, WIC, and everything else, Medicaid taken away from undocumented migrants who, first of all, do not receive those benefits. But let me tell some great news on this Monday. Statistics show in this poll that was taken that 6.8 million people that are on SNAP are white. 4.1 million are African American, and 3.7 million are Latinos. Hispanics. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Share the video for awareness. But I think that when all these changes come around, the ones that are going to have their panties in a bunch and are going to be very upset are the Trumpies. But I hope they have the day and the life they deserve. For the rest of you guys, stay safe out there. Happy Monday. Blessed week. I love you.
Hey y'all, good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope everybody's waking up to so much good energy, positive energy on this beautiful day. I find it interesting that well, I won't even say call it interesting, because I think we all pretty much knew this was going to happen. MAGA or Republicans are online now complaining about the SNAP benefits for the month of November. There was a video I seen of a guy basically saying he was a Trump supporter, and he find it now that what's going on is should not be happening. But it's like, so you're okay with ICE coming through and getting people and terrorizing people, and the National Guard being called, and if it was affecting anybody else outside of the people you knew it was going to affect. So now it is affecting people you know, care about, love, so on and so forth. Now it's affecting you. Now you start seeing what everybody else has been talking about in terms of this administration, how they're not helping anyone. And it's so interesting that a lot of those people who are MAGA or Republicans have already started the notion of saying, oh, it's both parties. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Y'all asses voted for this, and now all of a sudden you realize that you're not the only one, that other people are not the only one that would be affected by it, and that it would be sorry y'all, and that it would be everybody affected by it. So now here we are, they're confused, looking confused at an administration who's not even supporting them, even though they voted for him not once, not twice, but 3 times. These people would vote for him again, even though he's doing this intentionally, attacking the American people, starving the American people, essentially. It's just odd to me. These same people voted for this. Now all of a sudden they realize that it's impacting them. Now it's all of a sudden, oh, they need to do something. I can't believe this is happening. Please miss me with that. Y'all voted for this shit. Not for nothing, you voted for this, and you're gonna have to try to figure out how y'all gonna fix this, because not everybody else wanted this. Y'all did. Y'all voted for this. MAGA, you voted for this. You voted for food stamps to be taken away. You voted for Medicaid to be stripped. You voted for all of this. You voted for him to send $40 billion to Argentina to prop up their country while soybean farmers suffer. So, unfortunately, miss me with that. Don't wait until it starts affecting you to then want to say something and feel bad. Please.
White people, I want you to know that the SNAP program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is the exact same thing as food stamps. The exact same thing as food stamps. The same with Obamacare. Obamacare is the exact same thing as the Affordable Care Act, ACA. The Affordable Care Act is Obamacare. Everyone in the United States of America know that you all white people is the largest recipients of food stamps. We know that you are the largest recipients of receiving food stamps and doing food stamp fraud. We know that white people is the Republicans, is the ones that stated that they did not want to give out food stamps due to the government shutdown. And we know that you voted for this. White people, this is your time to shine. This is your time to shine, because a lot of people think that you all did this.
White TikTok is beefing with each other, and they tearing each other to pieces. The white EBT warriors are mad at the white Republicans because the white Republicans are coming on this app saying that, good, EBT is no longer here. You don't need to get any help from the state, and you don't need any help from the government. Y'all need to go get jobs. And you know what the white EBT warriors said? Fuck The crazy part about this whole scenario is the white EBT warriors voted for Donald Trump and all of the white Republicans voted for Donald Trump. So isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that everything that the Democrats said wouldn't happen, especially with this EBT, Cal Fresh, and if we're talking about SNAP benefits, would be taken and Donald Trump would be the one to do it? Isn't it crazy that the people that voted for this and that they said it would never happen, it happened, and now they're blaming each other? They're still not blaming Donald Trump. They're blaming each other. They're like, oh my God, you need to get off of this and you need to get a job. And other people are like, well, I do have a job and I depend on these benefits. And then other people are like, well, we don't give a... You know what? I support white on white crime. If people are going to attack each other in the Appalachian Mountains, hey, go for it, baby. I'm all here for it. Remember,
American citizens are under attack by the U.S. government and the Republican Party. If you MAGA morons think you're not going to be affected by this, oh, I'm not on SNAP. I guarantee you know someone who is. Well, what about the premiums that are going to be skyrocketing? Do you think that they're going to ask you, are you Democrat or Republican? No. This affects everyone. So when your premiums go up by thousands, with some people, when this affects you and when you can't go in and be seen by a doctor because, hey, you've already had a heart attack, screw you, that's a pre-existing condition. You already have diabetes, that's a pre-existing condition. You're not going to be able to get the care you need either. So while you're trying to say, oh yeah, fuck you, we don't care, Democrats, you're going to. Now, we have tried to explain this to you until we're blue in the face. But you idiots won't get it until it affects you. And then you're going to become red in the face. How ironic. Blue Democrats try to warn you. Now you get all pissed off. And the red hats become red faces. We don't want to hear your bullshit. When your bank accounts dwindle, when your families go hungry too, prices have gone through the roof. He hasn't lowered a goddamn price one. You voted him in. He got your vote. He doesn't give a shit about you. He's never going to have to worry about that again. Republican Party is going to do everything they can to stay in power. And you've allowed that to happen. We warned you. This is on you. This has been your old Uncle Al. Let's stay in touch.
Really feel, and I'm praying for the people that work in the welfare offices, because they're going to get swarmed in person and on the phone, email by these numbskull MAGA voters that didn't know that their SNAP benefits and all of their other social welfare program benefits that they depend on heavily in order to feed themselves and to live the lives that they live are going to get taken away because of Donald Trump. And because they would have rather voted for a white supremacist and a racist than the black woman that was extremely well equipped. You know what I'm saying? And it's really unfortunate, bro, because all of this, like, they want us to riot and they want us to loot and steal in order to boost the crime rates so that Donald Trump can invoke the Insurrection Act and so that Donald Trump can be like the real authoritarian leader that he wants to be. All of these things were in Project 2025. All of these things were things that Donald Trump said he had no idea about, but somehow miraculously he's performing it to the T. He's doing everything perfectly, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Everything that was in Project 2025 is going on right now, albeit it's a little bit slower, thankfully, but it's still happening.
Not you guys not knowing that SNAP and food stamps are the same thing. That's why you voted for him. You don't have two brain cells to rub together.
Man, I like hell EBT gets cut off November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Not only because it would just be good for everybody to see all the welfare queens be exposed for the deadbeat parents they absolutely are, but mostly because it would be really nice to just pay 30 to 40% less for all my goddamn groceries.
Baby, white TikTok is in a frenzy, and while I have my voice right now, I'm going to use that hoe. They don't understand how their SNAP benefits are being cut off in November. They literally thought when they heard SNAP benefits, it was only going to hit the black folks, okay?
MAGA, you need to listen to me. I used to be MAGA, and things are about to get catastrophic. Not just for owning the libs, but for you as well and your families as well. It's in regards to SNAP, Okay, a federal funded program that gives food stamps and assistance, financial assistance for people to be able to afford food in the United States. 41 million people rely on this program a year. This federal program has already confirmed and sent out emails to people saying, hey, we have no more funds come November. Come November, which is in less than 12 days from now, there will be no more money coming into these people's pockets that they use to provide food for themselves and their children and their families. Okay? This is not just liberals or Democrats. This is nationwide. And guess what, MAGA? Many of you, I know, rely on it as well. And it's okay. You don't have to be ashamed that you rely on it. Okay? It's a program that is really good for helping a lot of people. But you don't understand that when this gets taken away, people are about to get very desperate. In a month where there's Thanksgiving, of course, it's about being with family and being thankful, but it's also about food. Do you not see the symbolism in this? It's going to get so bad so quickly, but it can be prevented. If we get our government together right now, we open up before November, we get this program funded, and we get the assistance out to the people in need. My name is Hunter Howell. If you feel like giving me a follow, a like, a share, a comment, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm sending all of you my love, and hopefully this video was informative for you.
What percentage of Trump voters do you think don't know that food stamps and SNAP benefits are the same thing? Is this an ACA Obamacare type situation? Oh my God, November is coming. Like, how many of them understand that Thanksgiving is going to look a little different this year because they're not getting those food stamps, EBT, SNAP, whatever it is. And some of these are celebrating. They're celebrating for themselves to go hungry. Oh my God. This is natural selection. We're watching it in real time. Because at least the ones on the left who rely on these benefits didn't vote to lose them. I just looked it up. Pennsylvania stopped giving these benefits on the 16th of October. I just saw a video of a woman saying that she hasn't fed her kids in days, and this would explain it. They're going to starve their own citizens to avoid opening up the government and voting to release the Epstein files. And those starving hillbillies are going to clap for it. Oh my God, and this would explain the delta between self-reported SNAP beneficiaries that are Republicans versus the amount of SNAP benefits that go to these red districts. It's a combination of stupidity and not knowing that you're actually receiving these benefits, and stupidity that makes you feel ashamed of receiving those benefits because you shame people who receive those benefits, not knowing that you are one of those people. Oh my God! Only 17% of Republicans self-report as ever needing benefits from the government, whereas 45% of these benefits go directly to overwhelmingly red districts. More Democrats are willing to self-report that they have utilized these benefits versus Republicans who will just lie about it or just be so ignorant that they don't know. Oh, winter is coming. Winter is here. And 40% of those are children. They're voting to starve their own kids. They are voting to take away health care from their own children. To own the libs? You're owning yourself.
Honestly, I'm very happy they're taking away the food stamps. That's great because y'all swear at the poll you were doing something to hurt immigrants and people who look like me, but now all the rednecks and Mima and Papa and Junebug and Slaughterbug and all y'all gonna be hungry this Thanksgiving. Thank God. You thought you were shooting other people, you end up shooting yourself in the foot. Good. Like, great. I'm happy. Thank you. Majority of the immigrants who you claim are stealing your stuff, we don't even qualify for food stamps. Maybe y'all can use this hungry time to think about what y'all did at the poll last November. This Thanksgiving, maybe y'all can fast and repent.
Man, I fucking hope like hell EBT gets cut off November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Not only because it would just be good for everybody to see all the welfare queens be exposed for the deadbeat parents they absolutely are, but mostly because it would be really nice to just pay 30 to 40% less for all my goddamn groceries. Have a wonderful day.
And I hope you're the first to starve. Those of you that are very happy about people losing their SNAP benefits, as someone who does not receive it but understands food insecurity, y'all are weird. Y'all are very weird because I don't think y'all understand just how much this affects everyone, right? Because if they lose their benefits, right, people resort to desperate measures during desperate times, you might be a recipient of those desperate measures they take, i.e. stealing. And then now you and your people hungry. I don't know what else to say. I don't have no profound thought behind it. It's just, I really hope that you're the first to starve, because to be happy that people are losing a basic human right, which is to have access to food, makes you a big weirdo. Because even your pretentious self deserves to have access to food.
Shambles, because they don't understand how EBT benefits are getting cut off November 1st, because a lot of them say they didn't vote for it, but they voted for Donald Trump. And see, this is the problem when you play a game that you think that isn't going to fucking affect you, but it's going to affect everybody else, and you feel like it's not your problem or situation to deal with. Things will directly fucking affect you. You voted for somebody that didn't give a fuck about you. You also voted for somebody that didn't give a fuck about your neighbor. So it indirectly affected you, and now it's directly affecting you because you didn't even know what you voted for. Most white men and women in rural states and rural areas, they are low income and they get benefits through the state. Dummies. And a lot of them voted against those benefits by voting for Donald Trump when they just thought that he was going to deport all the immigrants. They're crying because they're like, what are we going to do for Thanksgiving? What are we going to do? My benefits are going to get cut. I don't know. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Yes, the fuck you did. Sad because now their vote is going to affect millions of people, all because they wanted to be racist. Ain't that a damn shame?
Man, I hope like hell EBT gets cut off November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Not only because it would just be good for everybody to see all the welfare queens be exposed for the deadbeat parents they absolutely are, but mostly because it would be really nice to just pay 30 to 40% less for all my god.
Okay, genius. Albite, explain to us, how does people being made to go hungry because they don't have their SNAP benefits, their food stamps, how does that lower your grocery bills? How does that translate to you paying less for groceries? Educate us. Tell us how that happens. As I understand it, if SNAP benefits don't go out and that money doesn't get spent, the money goes right back into the general fund. I hadn't heard of Congress passing a MAGA who hate poor people grocery rebate bill where they like send you a check. Or what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to call up, the Piggly Wiggly and tell them, hey, charge that MAGA ass for groceries because people don't have SNAP? Can you explain it? You mean because people who are in the grocery store people who would normally be going to the grocery store because they have EBT cards and SNAP benefits now can't go to the grocery store because they no longer have money to buy food. That's going to make the grocery store lower the price of the food in the store. Why? Because more likely a lot of small stores are going to actually go out of business, because without those people spending those SNAP benefits in particularly smaller groceries, that's actually hurting the grocery store. So they're probably going to have to raise prices on the groceries there because they're losing business and customers. So it's actually the opposite of what you're saying, stupid. But y'all ain't MAGA because you're brilliant. It's not because you're geniuses. But just a public service announcement. People going hungry, the people you hate going hungry, that don't lower your grocery bill, not one penny. Don't lower your taxes either. It does nothing for you other than make you happy that they're standing in food lines or whatever other, Cruella de Vil man shit you believe in. So enjoy watching people suffer and starve, I guess, since that's what you're into. But yeah, you're still going to pay the same or more for your groceries. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Am I a bad person because I got a little smile on my face when I found out that 42% of the people that receive SNAP benefits are white people in red states?
If you haven't seen the nasty, evil woman that is talking about food stamps while eating toast, if you haven't seen that video, I want you to watch that video just so you can see and hear what a nasty, terrible a-hole sounds like. Because I'm describing her perfectly. And it just seems like every single Republican woman is the same way. The same depth, the same lack of depth, the same lack of having a heart, the same nastiness in their voice. I don't know how to explain it. I've never seen anything like it. But watch the video and check out just how evil and nasty this woman is. For no reason. For no reason. Other than the fact of trying to make fun of people that are going to be looking for food in November because of food stamps getting cut. She chose to make a video and be as nasty as possible. Unfortunately, yeah, check it out and see just how terrible someone can be.
What the f*** you mean? Who ain't getting their goddamn food stamps in goddamn November?
Cause I'm getting my goddamn. Cause I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar mother Christ. I will be at mother Walmart with my steel toes on and my mother helmet, and I dare a bitch try to stop me from walking out that mother store with my grocery.
And then they doing this around the same time as Thanksgiving, which means there are going to be millions of Americans who might not even have food on the table this Thanksgiving.
They are now threatening to cut off food stamps right before Thanksgiving, which means millions of people, including the highest percentage of people with disabilities, will not receive food supplemented income next month.
Not only will the government be running out of money for food stamps come November 1st, the people who is eligible to get food stamps gonna have stricter requirements to even apply for it, to even still receive it. That homeless people are gonna have to get jobs, low income people are gonna have to get jobs, and they're gonna have to work at least 80 hours a month to even still qualify to get a little bit of assistance.
Starting November 1st, the work requirements will be expanded to those aged 55 to 64.
I don't know, Meth Head Mary. Maybe they bought the groceries they were supposed to buy. Here's an idea. Maybe they ate them. Listen, pale and confused. People that are on SNAP and EBT, they barely have enough food to go around, and 9 times out of 10, they're feeding multiple mouths. And the fact that you're sitting there eating food while you make this video tells me everything about you. Your moral compass is off, first and foremost. And before you snort your next line, you may want to check that. People going without food is nothing to be joking about. Because when people get hungry, they get desperate. And you better hope your house is not on their calling card. Getting food stamps every month secures you for that month. So come November, they may not have nothing after the first week, dumbass. So I hope and pray that people around you go hungry and you're their first stop. You vanilla phantom.
If you are naive enough to think that the pause to SNAP benefits on November 1st isn't going to affect you because you don't receive food stamps, I want you to hear this. About 1 in 8 Americans receive SNAP benefits. In fact, in Oklahoma, where I live, that's 1 in 6 people. So about 600,000 people in my state alone, Oklahoma, receive SNAP benefits. About 1 in 4 children in the U.S. receive SNAP benefits. But you're not one of those people, so you don't care, but hang with me. When those benefits go away, just about $9 billion in grocery spending vanishes. So you've got to be thinking about not just the grocery stores being able to stay open and pay their employees, but you have to think about the entire supply chain, trucks on the road, people who provide food to these grocery stores. $9 billion. Every dollar spent in SNAP benefits adds about $1.50 to $1.80 to the economy. So cutting those benefits isn't saving that dollar, it's taking away that $1.50 to your local economy. But you don't receive SNAP benefits, you don't work for a grocery store, you don't drive a truck, you don't give it. But when all of those things happen, the only way to combat that is to drastically increase the price of groceries. Grocery prices are already up over 3% in 2025 alone, which is almost an entire percentage higher than the average increase in grocery prices over the last 20 years. I thought they were supposed to go down day 1 though. So even if SNAP benefits only pause for 1 month, which by the way would be detrimental to all the people I mentioned before that you don't give a shit about, it will cost the economy roughly $13 to $14 billion in profit. And you can expect your grocery prices in just that 1 month to go up at least 1%. And states will stand to lose about $300 to $500 million in sales tax revenue. So even if you do not receive SNAP benefits, you never have, you never will, you do not want these to be paused on.
This discourse about the SNAP benefits being cut lets me know just how fucking stupid some of y'all really are. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say they cut SNAP benefits, right? And in the grocery store, you have all this food that no one can buy. Well, not no one, but a majority of people cannot buy. Do you think they're going to lower the cost of food because they care about the food? Or do you think they're going to raise the cost of food to cover for the people who are not buying? Which one do you think it is? Which one do you really think it is? That's how I know some of y'all are ridiculous. You're pointing your fingers and you're going, ha ha. Right? And then when you go to the grocery store, because I remember cussing when eggs were like $6 a dozen. I'm like, what do you mean $6 a dozen? Now I'm in the grocery store looking at them $18 eggs like, you know, the 6 wasn't that bad. The 6 wasn't that bad. But let's just say the people with all this food, because you really think they care about the food going bad? We know big stores that throw away really good food, like they incinerate it instead of either giving it away or letting people take it at a discount. You'd think that if they cannot buy it, they're just going to be like, oh my gosh, the food is going to go bad because we care. Let's lower the price so everyone can get some? Or do you think they're looking to make a profit? Okay.
Y'all trying to make this a racial issue when it come down to people not receiving they SNAP benefits in the month of November. Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie, because y'all know I got a little time today, and I come with actual factual numbers. Clock that tea. So a lot of y'all on here screaming, that's good that they won't be getting their November benefits. Maybe they'll get off their lazy behinds and go get them a job. Let me put this in right here, though. I want you to know the people who receive the most government assistance in general in this country don't look a thing like me. Did you hear what I said? And I always include, the actual factual, the details that you need to see, the tips you need to use right above my head so you can know that I'm spitting actual factual. They don't look a thing like me. So stop trying to make it a racial issue when people in general will be affected by this. Just because you up there in that upper class, higher class, and you feel like, it ain't gonna affect you, it might affect your grandmother, your grandpa, your elderly aunt, your great auntie, your great uncle. Those people will be affected. Or how about your little neighbor that lives on your street, by her house back when she was working. Now she retired and received a little bit of SNAP benefits to keep her going. She will be affected by this. So quit trying to make it a racial issue. It's a people issue in general. A lot of people will be affected if these people don't get this government back open and get these people they SNAP benefits and other benefits that they're going to miss out if they don't hurry up and open this government back up. Thank y'all for sipping a little more tea, but I ain't see by y'all.
Every year I try to give food and I give toys to organizations to help, but I'm going to tell you, I gotta pay for my own family, and it sucks, but you guys have gotten very comfortable living off of the government, and the very thought that you might not get your cards in November has got you guys screaming all over the internet. Meanwhile, you had no problem spending $1,000 food hauls at Costco and showing all the internet all the food you get and dancing and laughing, and even some women like very sarcastically being like, oh, you mad?
Lock in, fuckers. We about to fact check shit. First, if you fuck me, check out that podcast. Let's get it. What the hell is she talking about? First of all, you are online way too much, and I know you know nothing about food stamps, because if you did, you would not make that video. And why are you mad at people using food stamps to buy food? Isn't that why we use it? But I'm gonna give you guys some information just to show you what she's saying doesn't make any damn sense. First of all, if you want less people on SNAP benefits, that would mean that the economy has to get better. Because if we just took the time to use our big people brain, then we'll realize that if the price of living is increasing and wages remain the same, then more people are gonna need government assistance. Which is why reports are saying a stronger economy will equal less people on food stamps. Not to mention that food stamps is just a temporary assistance, meaning that people usually stay between 6 to 24 months. And do you even know the demographic of the people that are on these benefits that the right are complaining about? 34% are children, 33% are the elderly, and 17% are disabled. Not to mention that 50% of people who are on WIC, which is women, infant, and children, have either SNAP, Medicaid, or both. In Trump's economy, we have a bad job market, unemployment is high, and inflation is high as well. And you're trying to understand why people want to get on food stamps?
Oh, and I tell you, it is so sad to see that the educational system in the U.S. has greatly failed the Midwest, okay? I'm not saying that the educational system here in the United States is any better anywhere else, but I'm noticing some of the comments under my posts from people specifically from that area, and specifically MAGA-minded Christian nationalist conservatives. 2 points that I feel is very, very much necessary for me to review so that you understand, okay? Listen up, MAGA people. We're going to go way, way back, okay? We're going to do a throwback, and we're going to review the fact that the Affordable Care Act, yes, the one that most of you get your health care through. The Affordable Care Act is Obamacare. That's what that is. You guys have had Obamacare as your health coverage. Affordable Care Act is Obamacare, and Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. There's no difference. It's just two different names for the same thing. You know how French fries are French fries, but they also can be potato wedges. Same thing. It's a potato. Same thing. Same thing. Okay, that's first thing. All right. Then we're going to bring it more current. You know they have been talking everywhere across the United States about SNAP benefits. SNAP benefits are food stamps. Food stamps are SNAP. It's the same thing, just two different ways to say it. The EBT, electronic benefits transfer, is just the card itself. And just because you have an EBT card does not mean that you get food stamps. EBT card can mean that you get health insurance. Yeah. Everyone who has an EBT card does not necessarily get food stamps or cash. Sometimes it's just your medical. because a lot of you are essentially just spewing out the most hate ever, and you have no idea of what you're talking about because you have not taken the time at all to read. Read. Please read. So let's review. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act, and the Affordable Care Act is Obamacare. SNAP benefits are food stamps, and food stamps are SNAP benefits. And just because you have an EBT card or an electronic benefits transfer card does not mean that you automatically are on food stamps or cash. Sometimes you have it just because you have medical coverage. Thank you for coming to the lesson today. Be sure to drop by again. My classroom door is always open.
Black Americans won't argue that when the benefits are cut off, the benefits that were supposed to go to the black people are cut off, they'll come for them next. But MAGA supporters ignored the warning and remained too focused on the revenge politics. They didn't see the bigger picture of what black people are telling them. Because what started like an attack on one community has now spread to other people who thought that they will not be reached by this welfare discrimination. Now they're learning it the hard way. It is their time to learn it the hard way because they voted for the welfare to be cut, and now it has now turned back against them. You know, across rural America, working class families are now losing the SNAPs and other governmental assistance. The same politicians who promised to protect the forgotten man have now disappeared. Food banks are full again, not just with city folks, but small town families. Online MAGA voters are now posting things like, my benefit is gone, my benefit has been cut, and I can't feed my kids, you know, which is something surprising. It's so funny, something unexpected, because they mocked the very struggle they are now living in now. It's so ironical. MAGA leaders promised jobs, prosperity, and the safety of their people. But instead, they gave tax cuts to billionaires and the corporations. They said America first, but send contracts overseas. They said help the working class, but slashed the very programs that fits those people. They told the voters that they were draining the swamp, but they are just building a bigger one, you know? MAGA voters were never the priority. They were the tool that were being used, or they were the bridge that was being used to reach the other end. And now, billionaires are the ones who are enjoying, but not the MAGA voters. Kamala Harris became a symbol of leadership under pressure. Many MAGA supporters mocked her for years. They talked about her background, they laughed at her, they talked about her story, and yet, under her leadership, new AIDS programs were restructured for everyone. Not just one base or one race, but for everyone. Now, tell me, who is laughing now? The black Americans who supported Kamala Harris are the ones who are laughing now. The same people who once said that we'll never take help from Democrats are now lining up for aid from their administration. It is good that politics has a strange way of humbling those who laugh too soon. Politicians don't care who you voted for when it is their time to make some cuts. They don't see black or they don't see white. They see budgets and numbers. That's what they care about. When programs are reduced, everybody bleeds. And to the system, poverty is poverty. No color, no party, no favorites. When the government tightens spending, it doesn't check your voting record. That's why unity matters a lot, not blind loyalty. Black communities have always understood how government neglects fails. They tried to warn the MAGA voters not to celebrate oppression, because once it is normalized against one group, it will spread like wildfire to other people. And they said that don't clap when others suffer, because the same stone is heading your way. Now the stone has now landed in their own backyards, and they are now feeling the weight that black people felt when their food stamps were cut off. MAGA voters are realizing they were used. They're now realizing that they were actually used to divide working class people, used to weaponize hate instead of solving problems. They also used to keep Americans distracted while billionaires take more. Now they face the truth, because the rich are now becoming richer and the poor are now becoming poorer, and the middle class is now vanishing. Maybe this time around, these people will see that no one wins when other people are starving, because hunger doesn't care who you voted for or which color you are, because poverty doesn't check your skin color, and suffering doesn't stop at politicians' borders. And I now end by saying that those who laughed at black pain are now living in the same story. But instead of revenge, maybe this time there is a room for some unity, because when benefits disappear and price rises, every American feels the sting. Red or blue, black or white. The government doesn't see sides. And until Americans learn to stand together instead of against each other, the suffering will keep repeating itself. And that is what the government always aspires for. So guys, what do you think about this video in the comment section? If you love this video, if you find this video educative or informative, please subscribe for more videos like this, and also leave us a comment in the comment section, guys. And I love you so much. This is your brother Fred from the motherland. Please join our membership, by the way. Join our membership so that you become part and parcel of this community. Thanks so much for watching my video, and see you again in my next video.